10 minutes past 9 this morning. I know you've all been waiting for this moment. We are joined officially by Nathan Murphy, the King of Mayo. How are you? You're not in your jersey. I thought you'd have your jersey on. I thought you'd festooned. I thought you'd have like a mini Sam Maguire there celebrating, because it felt like you were celebrating the victory of all victories, that the curse was over, finally lifted on Saturday evening under lights.
Well, in some ways, it was the victory of all victories. Mayo beaten the greatest team that we have ever seen, having been 7 points down at one stage, having been 2 points down in injury time. I think if you're not able to celebrate a win like that, when are you going to celebrate? This was the semi-final. We know what you're going to say, Jared, that Mayo people will lose the run of themselves and they haven't won Sam.
No, you should.
And all that remains.
Sorry, look, I realise that, it's Friday evening, you probably weren't listening, but we had John Maughan on and he was talking about the excitement, and I made the point, that's the whole point about being a sports fan, about loving a team, and you're supposed to lose the run of yourselves. Like, I don't know if you've seen David Brady's Liquor Gale. It was on immediately after, was it after the game? It was on over the weekend anyway. TG Carr, brilliant timing. And he just explains why football means so much to Mayo people. And I buy it. I get it. I understand it now.
Well, everywhere I looked at Croke Park at full time, there were people in tears. And I think it was partly the fact that people were back in the stadium and that there was 24,000 people. And having missed out last year and Mayo getting to an All-Ireland final and not really meaning as much because of the fact that nobody could actually get there, to have a moment to celebrate in such unexpected fashion. They're always the best wins, where you're going in firstly as an underdog, but then at half-time thinking, this is done. But I remember about 2-3 minutes before half-time, just on the corner of the Cusick and the Davin stand, that sort of thumping Mayo, Mayo, Mayo started up. And at this stage, Mayo are 7 points down. And I was thinking, the fans have turned up. They've given their backing. This was something James Horan touched on 7-8 years ago, that he felt Mayo fans were very quiet. And ever since then, that chant has come when Mayo have needed them. And out of that, Mayo kicked the point just before half-time and just emerged a completely different side. And it was a absolute jubilation. It was what I would imagine almost winning an All-Ireland would be like. The sense of euphoria, the sense of shock, I think, as well, that it had actually happened, considering how comfortable Dublin looked for so long, and the fact that this Dublin side are so talented, have had so much on Mayo over the last few years. I think nobody could quite believe what they had just seen. So it was a really, really special occasion, and probably no harm for Mayo that the match has been pushed back another week, and maybe James Horan can go and let the players soak this in for a few more days and then get down to business. But listen, the fans will lose the run of themselves. Horan is the only calm Mayo man I think there's ever been. He never, ever loses the run of himself. Barely a smile. He was trying to keep it in as all the backroom staff were jumping all over him, and Kieran McDonald was hugging him.
I thought he let himself go in the moment. He did. Definitely.
For about half a second, and then the serious walk across the pitch. But, he knows what an achievement that was, and what an achievement for Horan. Again, this period of transition since he's come back is back-to-back All-Ireland finals. You look now and think, was relegation to Division 2 the worst thing, where Mayo could quietly go about their business, try out lots and lots of players, get them some game time, integrate them ever more into the squad, and be ready to unleash them? But, some new heroes came forward. We're sort of used to naming that Mayo team under Horan and Rochford, and you can sort of go through 1 to 15 who the starting 15 would have always been up to 2017. Like, this is a totally new, young, fresh Mayo side who, on Saturday, it didn't look like they had a huge amount of scar tissue with the way they went about it in extra time.
What was your specific reaction? Was it tears flowing? Was it Mayo chanting at full time? Do you even remember what it was?
I brought my 2 kids, so I had one Mayo fan, one Dublin fan, and I thought I was quite calm. But as we got back home, they were telling their mother the stories of Daddy using a lot of curse words, saying a lot of things. I think I lost the run of myself a little bit. It was just, I thought it was gone. Even as Mayo were eking their way back in during that second half, point by point, slowly, there were a couple of moments where they got rapid fire points, but generally it took a long time. And even 71, 72 minutes, they're still 2 points down. I never thought they were going to level it up. I never thought they were going to win. I just thought Dublin will slow it down, will see it out. And I think the moment that you realise this is gone completely haywire was the pass from Evan Comerford back to Davy Byrne on the goal line. considering at the start of that move, Dublin were in such a comfortable position where you just would see them go into a 20-man or 20-pass move and would slowly work it up the pitch. Probably wouldn't score, but it wouldn't matter. They'd win a free on the halfway line, slow it down, and that'd be the game. But the absolute panic that set in, I never thought I would see from this Dublin side. And that moment where it was passed back on the line and he was fumbled over the goal line, you just thought, if Robbie Henley can score this, like, Dublin are gone. And like, Mayo should have won it in normal time. You look back at the footage and, you know, James McCarthy, it has to be a free for what he did to Jeremy O'Connor. The referee decided, actually, let's just get them all off the pitch. Even though there's definitely a couple of minutes left, considering there was 7 minutes of injury time and everything we'd seen. You would have worried at that stage Dublin get in and regroup, but it was just nothing there in the tank. You could tell then it was gone for Dublin, that they probably left it all out there. And to see experienced players like McCarthy make, you know, so many mistakes and such ill discipline was a bit of a shock. But yeah, somehow Mayo find themselves back in an All-Ireland final again.
And only Kerry or Tyrone stand between them and ultimate glory.
Well, listen, it's just be an honour for the Mayo players to be on the pitch with the greatest of all time, and you know, to share this with David Clifford, and you know, his first All-Ireland title is something, you know, I'm sure will live long in the memory for everybody. So
I mean,
yeah,
you say it now, Nathan. You want to be careful. You want to be careful. You don't somehow manifest that into existence.
It's not a 2006 where you know, this young guy called Kieran Donaghy who is emerging, and Mayo go, we don't need to mark him. Let him at it. What's the worst that can happen?
No, Nathan. I mean, if it is Kerry, like, I think there just has been a lack of Mayo Tyrone meetings in Croke Park to talk about. But if it is Kerry, I mean, your recent memories of Croke Park playing Kerry must be positive. It's been 10 years since Kerry had beaten them in Croke Park. 2014 was a draw. The defeat happens in Limerick. 2017 was a draw, and then Mayo win the replay in Croke Park. The 2019 league final was a Mayo win. I mean, you must be genuinely, quietly confident.
Well,
quietly?
Not as confident as you are, Owen, clearly, considering you're already talking about Kerry being in an All-Ireland final before the semi-final.
He did say if it's Kerry.
Really, but that's not what he's thinking. He's already planning. He's already booked his hotel for the week before to go down to Castlebar to just wind up the Mayo supporters. It's a very different thing, Mayo against Kerry, Mayo against Dublin, but all we're hearing is that this is a brand new star-studded Kerry, and like a Sean O'Shea, David Clifford are a pretty frightening prospect for any defence. And also, like, Mayo haven't been flawless so far. Like, how slowly did they start against Galway? How slowly did they start on Saturday? There's only so many times you can find yourself 6-7 points down in a game before it's going to come and bite you, and you're not going to be able to summon up the reserves to get yourself back into it. So I think Horan has a massive amount of work to do to make sure that they start games better and are more aggressive, and actually maybe just play to Mayo's DNA. Go with the shock and awe, go with the 100 miles an hour, and leave it all out there and get at a team good and early and use that emotion. And maybe it'll be easier in All-Ireland final. Maybe it's impossible not to have let it into him. Yeah, play it all at full forward and let it into him.
Right. Congratulations. I mean, well done.
Thanks. Quite a few weeks ahead.
Yeah. All right. Nathan, good stuff.
You don't mean it, Jer. You don't mean it.
I do. I don't begrudge you yet. After you win and you become completely insufferable, you know, it's important to start talking about being humble in victory. That would be important for both of you. It'd be very important for both of you to bear this in mind.
It's just going to be something different, you know. It's like we're gonna see who are the new dickheads in town who can't handle being victorious, because all it's been is the Dubs are arrogant when they win. It's either going to be arrogant Kerry people, arrogant Tyrone people, or arrogant Mayo people, and you're going to hate whoever it is of the three of us.
Yes, we are.
So
well, it's the worst. It's the worst in a way. I know Dublin people are trying to be kind, and I even sense that the Dubs were a bit, you know, bored with winning, because all the Dubs around me were celebrating Mayo wides far more than they were celebrating Dublin points. But by and large, the message you got even going into the ground was, I hope you do it. I hope you do it. And there's a pity and a patronising tone to it that maybe they don't really mean, but it's all I'm taking from it. And I want to be that dickhead. I want to be the ones that everyone's going, God, I hope they never win it again.
You've had a lifetime.
God, I hope that never happens again. That is what we want.
A lifetime of preparation, Nathan. Well trained. Anyway, congratulations. Thanks very much for joining us this morning. Cheers.
Thanks for having me, lads.